Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to Paul's Game and Fish, and today I'm bringing you another build video for the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. Today we have us a Magicka Warden tank build. Its design is around massive crowd control. It's going to help you finish the dungeons a lot faster by keeping the enemies grouped together, and it's also very cheap to build. Starting with the gear, this is a Ice Staff Sword and Board build. We are running 5 heavy, 2 light, so we get additional cost reduction. There are 2 different options for this build. We're going to start with option number 1, which I'm actually wearing right now. It is very cheap to get. Every single piece of item that I'm wearing right now, I purchased from a guild store for less than 35,000 gold. The second option is going to require a little bit of farming. We'll get into that in just a minute. For this setup, we are running 5 pieces of Plague Doctor. The amount of health this gives you is quite massive. We're going to use 2-piece block reduction, 1-piece magic recovery on the jewelry. On the body, we're going to use Bahar's Curse. It's going to give you tri-stats, and it's going to leave a rune on the ground, which you're going to be able to keep up 100% of the time. It's going to slow enemies by 70% and heal you for about 1,000 health per second per enemy that's in this rune. If you have 5 enemies hitting you that are in this rune, you're healing for 5,000 health per second without touching any buttons at all. Our gear, we do want all of the pieces to be sturdy. We're still working on getting a couple of pieces, and I also do not have my Undaunted bonuses, so you're going to want to run all Magicka enchantments on your gear. The monster piece that we're using is Lord Warden's. However, you can use Pirate Skeleton, and you can also use the Mighty Chundin, whichever one of those that you can get that has the 1 piece of spell resistance and physical resistance, so that way we can maintain at 32.5k resistances. Your light armor, you want to do your belt and your hands because they have the smallest armor contribution. So you should make those light so that way you're not losing out on the amount of armor that you would get from a heavy piece. On our sword and board bar, we are running a reinforced shield enchanted with Magicka, a defending sword with a Magicka enchantment on it that's going to consistently give us back resources. And then our ice staff, we're going to be running a defending ice staff with the same enchantment on it. Option number 2, which is a more advanced build, you would want to replace Bahar's Curse with Leeching Plate, and you would want to use a Leeching Shield and change your one hand to either a Maelstrom or a Master's one-hand weapon. These are our unbuffed statistics. We'll be running 24 to 25,000 Magicka depending on which bar you are on. Almost 37,000 health. However, in battle, you will always be running 40,000 health because of the Warden passive, 15,000 stamina, and you will be running 33% spell critical with 32.5 resistances on both bars. You want 45 points in the magic, 17 health, 2 stamina. We are running the Lady. We are a stage 4 vampire, however this is not required. I do it for the damage reduction, and we are using tri-stat food. For our skills, we're going to use Gripping Shards. When you cast this ability, it's going to immobilize anybody within it for 3 seconds. It's also going to reduce enemy movement speed by 30% for another 12 seconds if they touch it. Blockade of Frost, it's going to reduce the enemy's movement speed by 60%, and if they're affected by Shield Witch, Blockade of Frost, Gripping Shards, light attacks, and heavy attacks, and all proc shield, you're going to immobilize them for another 4 seconds. Frozen Device will teleport an enemy to you. This will teleport many enemies that are also unaffected by CCs such as Fear, Knockback. This will teleport them as well. So when they get teleported to you, they're going to do 30% less damage. Lotus Flower, we need to morph this to the one that's going to give us spell critical. Light attacks heal you for 1500. Heavy attacks heal you for 4700. Bull Netch, this is going to give you all the stamina that you need so that way you're able to Permablock on your front bar. Permafrost is going to reduce the enemy's movement speed, stun them if they're damaged more than 3 times, and it's also going to give your allies a little bit of protection. On our boss bar, we have Pierce Armor. This is your main taunt. It's just going to break their armor, standard tank set. Heroic Slash, we're going to keep our ultimate generation up. Budding Seeds, do let your group know to look out for the synergy of this. When you cast it, normally count to 3 and then recast it again for the big heal. If your healer ever goes down for any reason, this one ability alone will keep your entire party alive with just this one ability. Absorb Magic is here for the block cost reduction and damage that you can block. Also, you can absorb magic to gain back some health if you need to. Ice Fortress is your major spell resistance and physical resistances. It's going to give you minor protection, and if you're close enough to somebody, you're going to give them protection as well. Enchanted Forest, this is going to go well with your Heroic Slash. If you heal anybody that's under 50% at all during the 6 seconds, you're going to gain 20 more ultimate. Now that was your most common setup that you're going to do in almost all everyday dungeons. On certain content it's going to be a harder boss fight, or if you're in a trial, switch out Frozen Device for Elemental Drain. And depending on your healing is going, if you have a dedicated healer and they're not going down, switch out your Budding Seeds for Leeching Vines. But make sure when you're fighting the boss, so let's say if this is the boss and your teammate is behind them, turn away, cast your vines, and then turn back in, because otherwise your vines are going to go on somebody else. The reason why you want to do this, because you're not going to be able to teleport anybody to you. Your Elemental Drain is going to help out your group by giving them basically 600 Magicka recovery. It's going to allow you to permablock on your Ice Staff bar. And then Leeching Vines is going to apply more healing to you, but it's also going to put minor lifesteal on everybody that damages you. So as your teammates are damaging them, they're healing, and it's going to proc your ability, Maturation, which is going to give them 10% additional health. As far as a rotation, there's only 2 buffs that you need to keep up at all times. That is your Ice Fortress for your armors and protection, and your Lotus Flower morph, so that way as you're light attacking or heavy attacking, you're gaining back health, which is also going to be proccing your minor toughness for 10% additional health, and this would be for you and your allies as well. Your Bull Netch, which gives you back stamina, you're only going to worry about this on a boss fight. So if we were in a AoE situation, so this would be our guy over here, we're going to charge up a heavy attack, and as we go in, we're going to throw down a Frozen Device somewhere else, and then pop our Ice Shards, our wall, heavy attack, Ice Shards, heavy attack, wall, heavy attack, Ice Shards, heavy attack, wall. You get the point on this? So that way as you're heavy attacking, you're constantly taunting something else. Let's see if we can finish this guy off. You're constantly taunting something else. You're constantly keeping up your Magicka, and you're constantly keeping down your 2 main CCs, which is going to keep everybody snared, immobilized, some form of controlling the enemy that's around you. Getting into the champion points, I do just want to remind you that this is a new account for me, because I switched from Xbox to PC, so I do not have all of my champion points yet. On the green tree, you're going to want to put 100 points into Shadow Ward for block cost. You're going to put 75 points into Tenacity for resource returns on heavy attack. Then you're going to put all of your other points into Warlord. On the blue tree, you're going to put 100 into Blessed, 100 into Elfborn, and the rest into Elemental Expert. On the red tree, you're going to want 19% in Ironclad. You're going to run 10% in Hardy, Elemental Defender, and Thick Skinned. I have 7 points into Heavy Armor Focus just because I like my armor and spell resistances to be equal. But any other points that you have left over, put them into Quick Recovery. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments about this build, or if you have any ideas to make this build better, let's see if we can do something about it. Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Take it easy guys.